Hey, welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan, and the game we're talking about today is Mega Man. So what is there to not say about Mega Man, one of the most iconic video game characters ever? And one of the first games to let you select your level from the very beginning, rather than going through the regular structure of having to go through each level individually, in order. So my first memories of this game were probably back in 1989. That would make me 8 years old. I remember my cousin, he borrowed a whole bunch of NES games from his friend. And one of those games was the first Mega Man. And I remember that really ugly box art, which is kind of iconic now. So obviously the first time I ever played Mega Man, I didn't know who to choose. So I decided to go for Elect Man for some reason. And like most kids, I could not beat the level. So kind of after that, I didn't really play Mega Man 1 again until after I played 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so after I played Mega Man 4, I had a friend that actually had the original Mega Man, so I asked him if I could borrow it. And from there, I was finally able to beat the game. Yeah, so one thing about the Mega Man games is they're not really easy or difficult. I mean, they're pretty much the right amount of challenge. Yeah, so I remember Mega Man 1 definitely being far, far more difficult than Mega Man 2 and 3. Yeah, so what made the first Mega Man very difficult? Well, obviously, since it was the first one, you didn't really have any energy tanks, and you didn't have a password system like in the sequel, so you kind of had to beat it all in one go. Yep, so if you were playing it on the regular NES, you had to beat it from beginning to end. Every time. Yeah, so it took me until I was in college to realize there was that pause trick with the select button. So what you can do is when you're fighting like the Yellow Devil at the first Dr. Wily stage, you could shoot him with the electric beam and then start pausing and unpausing and unpausing until you actually defeated the thing. And for many, many years, I would beat the game legitimately. Yeah, also one thing about this game was I remember was Dr. Wily's castle being really, really difficult. I mean, at the beginning where you had to avoid those bouncing machines, and then you had to use the ice to get past the fire, and then you had to fight the Yellow Devil at the end of stage 1. But stage 2 wasn't as difficult, and I didn't really find the Mega Clone that difficult to fight. And stage 3, the stage itself was not difficult, but I remember getting to the boss, which was the bubble machines, and you had a limited amount of blocks you can use, so with the Guts power, so if you ran out of that, you had to switch back to the Mega Buster, which kind of made it difficult. And what sucked is if you died during that battle, you would come back inside that, the boss's chamber, and the blocks would not be there anymore, so you had to use the Mega Buster. And I remember having to fight the Robot Masters on the way up to Dr. Wily, and you can kind of get screwed if you lose too much energy while fighting them. And I remember Dr. Wily at the end was not super, super difficult like he is in the later games. And I also remember that super awesome ending theme, which actually carries on over to Mega Man 2. You see Mega Man running home, and then he kind of turns back into rock. He looks a little different than how he does in the later games, but that's probably the only time they use that sprite. I also remember a time when this game was very, very difficult to find, probably around 91 and 92, 93. You could not find this game in stores. I remember as a kid, I went to Toys R Us, I asked the guy, hey, are you selling the original Mega Man? And he said, yeah, I don't know, I think it's been discontinued. Yeah, I kind of remember in 94 to 95, Capcom did a reprinting of the game, probably due to the very high demand of all the Mega Man fans out there. So the original Mega Man still has a bit of its problems, but still a very awesome classic game, which started the whole Blue Bomber. And you could pick this game up on the Wii U or 3DS Virtual Consoles. So that wraps up this episode of Awesome Video Game Memories. I'm Ryan, and if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to reach me personally, you can reach me at @RyanMolina at Twitter. And if you have a game that you would like for us to talk about on Awesome Video Game Memories, make sure to leave it in the comments below.